I know these are fancy. I
I
was
have those
just,
ones in green.
do you? Exciting. You're the first Seattle player that I've had on. Welcome on into the special debut PWHL Seattle edition of the PWHL Puck Drop podcast. And if you're watching on video, and I hope you are, you will see that we have a very special guest, Jenna Buglioni, first ever first round draft pick for PWHL Seattle. Welcome, Jenna.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to chat today.
You're more than welcome. I'm always surprised when the guest thanks me. I thank you for your time. We got a lot of questions submitted from viewers and community members, although I have some that I want to get in, so I might have to sneak one in. For instance, as you said that, being from Vancouver, and you're at the draft, Vancouver drafted seventh, was it? And then Seattle was eighth. And I mean, you're not going far from home, but what was that feeling like at the draft specifically, kind of watching Vancouver go and then knowing Seattle was up next? And how did that all work out in your mind?
Yeah, I tried to go into the draft pretty open-minded, just being thankful for wherever I got picked and wherever and whenever that was. It was really nice to be able to share that day with my family. My parents were there live, and then a couple of my Ohio State teammates were also there because they had ended up getting drafted. So it was a nice day for us to spend together and be able to celebrate each other. But when I heard my name called from Seattle, I was ecstatic. I was not expecting it at all, to be honest. And when I heard my name, I immediately remember turning around to my dad and my mom were just so excited. So to be able to share that moment with them and be close to home. I mean, they got to come out to Columbus quite a bit to watch me play, but my extended family hasn't been able to see me play in a long time. So I'm excited for my aunts and uncles and all my family friends and high school friends to be able to come see me live, which they haven't been able to.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm sure it's a perfect scenario. And were you familiar with Seattle? I mean, I assume there's going to be a natural rivalry, but how much of the city, and I guess I'll just piggyback onto that, I don't know if it was called the welcome tour that you did with some of your teammates. You went to the Space Needle, you did all the things. Maybe tell us a little bit about that and your Seattle experience.
Yeah, I had been down to Seattle maybe twice for youth hockey tournaments quite a long time ago. So I haven't really been able to explore the city much before I went with the team and with a few girls probably a month and a bit ago. And that was an awesome experience, just being able to interact with the community. And we had people kind of stopping us wherever we went, and they were telling us how excited they are. And we even saw we got to go to the Storm game, the WNBA, and they had a sold out crowd, and just how many people cheered for us and were excited that we're going to be in Climate Pledge Arena. It kind of made it feel real to be in the city and be able to interact not only with people from the Seattle area, but from out, like reaching out areas that are around Seattle because there is a rich hockey history there in those neighboring cities. So I'm excited for us to be able to come and put our stamp in Seattle because so you saw the takeover tour, just how many people were bought into that, and
Yeah.
the scene of sports is bumping there. And I just hope that not only regular sports, but women's sports in general is really on an incline. And there's a lot going on. So for us to kind of join that history and that excitement is really high.
It sure is. Seattle is the only city with, is it four pro women's teams?
Yes, I believe
Basketball.
so. Soccer.
Anyway, I'll check that. I'll fact check that on the screen. But did you have fun on that welcome tour? I mean, it looked like you guys were going pretty quickly. You did some youth hockey kind of outreach. Like I said, you went to the Space Needle. You threw the fish at the Pike's Place, or
Yeah.
what was that was with your new teammates. Get this, Hillary Knight, Emily
Yeah.
Brown, and your good friend, hopefully from the Ohio State, Caleb Barnes, joining you there in Seattle. So, how much fun did you have?
It was awesome. Not only seeing the city, like I said, but seeing the people around and just being able to spend more time. I mean, obviously, I'm very familiar with Kayla. We're good friends, and I really enjoyed playing with her. Unfortunately, it was only one season at Ohio State, but I got to know her pretty well. And then meeting Hillary and Emily was amazing. I mean, as a Canadian, I always have cheered maybe against her on the Olympic and international stage, but she is just such an amazing human and made me feel really welcome. And I was kind of trying to pick her brain a little bit because I want to be able to have a long and successful career just like she has had. So, I mean, being able to be in the same room as her and be able to ask her all the questions and get her advice. I'm beyond excited and very privileged, I think, to be with her this next year and just see all that she has to offer and to help me put in my toolbox.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure that's. I also feel the kind of US Canada pressures. Like, it's just there, right? So you kind of have to switch when, I mean, I'm Canadian, and so you get some Americans on your hometown team, but now you love them. And like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of crossover now. So I think that's good for the game. But of course, we've got the Olympics. So, and so I do have a question here because as you were saying that, I think, do you have a maple leaf tattooed somewhere on your arm? I think I
I
saw that.
do. Yes, on my forearm.
Love it. Love it. Is that the only tattoo you have?
No,
Or
I
no?
have about seven others.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I saw
Yeah.
that one in a photo because I don't have any. It's not really my thing, but I thought if I were to get one, that's what I would get. Just to always have that maple leaf close at hand. I think that's super cool. So you're
Yeah. The maple leaf was my first one that I ever got.
nice. So even though you'll be in a U.S. city, you'll have that little piece of home. All right, so we'll get to the fan questions, but I get first dibs with my own fan question, which is the pickle juice. I think I read it while you were on that tour with the other players, that was part of your pregame ritual. There might have been something else, which nothing jumped out at me except that you always have a shot of pickle juice. So, and I know it's a thing, but like, please explain.
Yeah, I don't know when I started it, probably right after my freshman year. I was dealing with like some cramping in my calves during games, and I was looking for pretty much any solution. And we always on the road or at home, our hockey ops would always just buy a jar of pickles. And I was like, I really like pickles in general anyway. So I was like, okay, it's good for cramping, all that stuff. So let's just take a swig of it. Like, I never usually use those like pre-made pickle juice like shots that come out of the little thing. I just like pour a little cup for myself out of the actual pickle juice jar that has the pickles in them. So this past year, me, Riley Bregman, and Joy Dunn before every game would come and like Riley would open it, pour us all a cup, and then um a couple times I would actually eat a pickle as well, but not before every game because sometimes it makes my stomach a little upset actually eating them. But we would always take a pickle juice shot together before the game, and it kind of just became a habit that I enjoy. I mean, I also like the taste of pickles, so it wasn't like it didn't bother me to have to do that, and I have done it ever since.
That's wild. I mean, I know that became a bit of a thing during the playoffs when the PWHL games were going to double and triple
Hmm.
overtime, and our friends Cheryl and Kenzie were talking about doing a pickle juice shot themselves. So I think it'll be a little PWHL kind of meme or something like that. Okay, so
Yeah,
we had
one of
it.
my stallmates hates the smell of pickles. So my senior year, I would come back and she would be like putting her nose like in her jersey. I'm like, you're being dramatic. Like, it doesn't smell like that bad. Like, I'm not spilling it all over my jersey, but
Yeah,
I mean, teach their own.
yeah, but hey, if it works and if you avoided the cramps, I mean, it seemed to work out for you. I've
Yeah.
got so many things that I could ping pong around, but I'll stay true to what I said, which is to ask the viewer questions. And thanks to all of the listeners and community that sent this in, because everyone is so excited about the expansion teams and getting to know you all. So, one thing that we were someone submitted was about you singing the national anthem to start the senior weekend series against St. Cloud State, and McKenna Webster also did the ASL. Could you just tell us what that was like?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been more nervous as I was that moment. We had kind of joked about it earlier in the season. I think we were in Mankato on a road trip, and I've always known I could sing. I don't like really outwardly do it. Like probably my closest friends know that I can actually sing decently well, but I don't do it very often. I never did singing lessons. I'm in a musical family. Everyone in my family can play an instrument and can sing, so it's kind of natural just to be able to do it, I guess. And I joked that, oh my gosh, it's probably a life dream of mine to sing an anthem at one of my games, not thinking anything would come of it. And our hockey ops was like, I'm gonna send an email right now, like we'll get you to do it, like maybe senior weekend. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Brushed it off. Week before senior night comes, I get a message from our marketing person saying, "Okay, yeah, you're actually doing it." And I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" Like, okay. So then I started to overthink and I called Muzzy and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm too nervous. What if I mess it up? Obviously, the anthem's a very serious thing and I wouldn't want to accidentally screw it up and have people be like, oh, she's fooling around. Like when I'm in my hockey gear and I'm about to play, like I'm very serious.
Mm.
I'm very focused. I didn't want a distraction for our team. But Coach Muzzy very, very heavily encouraged me and was like, you can do it. You're going to do it. We're going to get you ready. After practice today, I'll get the mic set up. You'll practice, blah, blah. So that whole week leading up, I probably practiced for 20 to 30 minutes after every practice, just singing it over and over. Mac would do a few signing and then she'd get off and I would just go over and over. And not a lot of the parents knew I was doing it. So when they announced us to come out, I just remember looking in the crowd and parents were like, what's going on? What's happening? And I was so nervous, but I'm so glad that coach told me, no, like you're doing it, you got it, because it pushed me very, very far out of my comfort zone. Um, and I thought we did it very well, and it was a very
Yes.
special moment for us to kick off senior weekend. And I mean, not very many people can say that they've done that, so I'm happy that I didn't chicken out and just say I wasn't going to, and pushed myself to get over the nerves.
That's great. And that's what good coaches do, right? They know you can do it. You just need that little encouragement to actually, put it into action. To me, that's a good coach. It's funny that you were practicing the singing. You're probably more worried about that than getting in your regular practice time.
Yeah,
Uh, okay, so and I think we're going to bounce all over the place a little bit
that's
here.
totally fine.
Okay, good. Thank you for bearing with me. You led the country with 7 game-winning goals, including game winners against St. Lawrence and Cornell. Like, is that instinct, preparation, or just the way you read the game when the pressure gets on? Kind of where does that come from?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time. But we prepared a lot for those moments at Ohio State. We did a lot of drills and a lot of scenarios where you're under that time crunch, you're in that pressure. We create an environment where it's maybe a bit uncomfortable to be in, and it's a little hectic. Some of the drills we do, and the timing, and just knowing the clock. And I think that that really helps because when you practice a little bit uncomfortable, it becomes a lot more natural and comfortable to be in those situations when you're in a game. So it almost felt a little bit normal. Um, I think in those moments, I thrive off of being in the high pressure, high intensity. I love when the game is like that's back and forth, games on the line. And then just trusting the preparation that I've done and my skill set, I think is really important for me. The game might be going crazy, but if I can stick to what I'm good at, hopefully results will come. And I think that that's something that I've really tried to stress to myself is, yeah, you might need to push for a goal, but the way you're playing can help lead us there. You don't need to pull out some magical dangle to
Yeah.
try to score because I'm not comfortable in that scenario playing like that. It's not my style. So if I can trust the abilities that I've been working on and that I'm comfortable with, usually like we can try to make something happen.
That's awesome. I mean, hopefully that does translate to the PWHL, where there is just even a little bit more pressure and less time. But if you have that mindset. That's awesome. Also, you scored a shootout goal at the outdoor game. I think it was like a long 7 round shootout or
Yeah,
something like
seven
that.
rounds. Hmm.
So no pressure there either. Okay, so this was one that I kind of wanted to allude to, and someone just basically is asking the question about your Ohio State teammates. Even you're going to join Caleb Barnes, as we said, and Hannah Bilka in Seattle, so some familiarity there. And then at the draft, Kiara Zanin was drafted here in Toronto. We had Riley Bringman and Amanda Teely drafted to Boston, and McKenna Webster and Maddie Wheeler to New York. So, are you excited to play against them
Yeah,
and with them?
I'm so beyond proud of them and all that they've accomplished, not only at Ohio State, but what they're going to continue to accomplish in the league. I feel like they and myself are all very prepared, very ready for this next step. There's obviously going to be growing pains, but that comes with any new chapter and challenge. But I can't wait to play against them. It's going to feel very, very weird, but also exciting. I'm so happy to be playing with Bilka and Barnes. Like I said, I only got to play with them for one season at Ohio State, but I got to know them very well, and they're not only elite players, but elite people. So having those familiar faces, I think, is going to make the adjustment a little bit easier for me to just be able to lean on them. And they have a lot of experience and a lot of different things under their belt that they've done not only in their collegiate careers but internationally. So being able to lean on that is going to be key for me. And then yeah, it's going to be a weird feeling playing against those girls that were on my team. But I'm very, very competitive. So when my helmet's on, we probably won't be friends when we're on the ice, but we can be friends after the game is done, and I'll get to hopefully see them and chat for a little bit. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm excited for our paths to continue to cross once the league starts. But yeah, I will definitely not be super friendly on the ice, but they know that I'm just competitive like that. And when my helmet and skates are on, I mean business.
I mean, you have to be right, and a lot of players do give that same answer. It's like, after the game, whatever, you check in with each other, but on the ice, there are no friends. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
not wearing the same color jersey, sorry. And then, by the way, we have Sophie Jakes and Jen Gardner in Vancouver, so I think there'll be some. Again, we kind of go back to the American Canadian theme. Like you've got a couple of the American Olympians, and they've got a couple of Canadian Olympians. I mean, it's mix and match. They have to put on different hats every day. Like, oh,
Yeah.
today you are my teammate. Last night you weren't. But really excited to see that rivalry thrive. Okay, so getting into a little bit of what I would call the hockey nerd style questions, if that's okay. And let me look at one that might. Okay. Is there any specific tape job, curve? I like to ask about skates, like sharpening or rituals that you swear by, but others might find unusual.
I'm honestly not super picky with my gear. Um, as long as it is working, it's not broken, I'll make it work. It's good enough for me type of thing. I don't know if that's right or wrong. It's everyone's kind of preference. If I feel good in it, that's all I need. I don't try to be too high maintenance with that. I use a P88 curve. I don't have anything super particular with my tape job with my stick. I'm not gonna lie,
Black
this
or white
past
tape?
white,
White,
the
okay.
thin one. This past season,
See, you are a little
I
bit.
I
Go,
like
go
to
ahead.
do the knob myself, but the bottom of my stick this past year, one of our other players on my team did tape my stick every time. Which I just like don't enjoy doing it, and she
Yeah,
really did. So I was like, if you want to do it, then I mean, be my guest. I'll take the tape off for you and you can re-put it on, but just normal heel the
yeah.
toe, cut the extra on the toe. On the top of my stick, I usually do a base layer of white, and then I'll do stretch grip tape
Okay.
um, over top of that. And then my skates usually do 5/8
Nice.
sharpening. Yeah, so pretty simple. and then unwaxed laces. I don't like when they're waxed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, the wax just I don't doesn't feel right. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's old school. I think.
It keeps them tighter for longer, but in between periods, I don't mind if I have to kind of retighten my skates.
Right.
But I always put my right skate on before my left, but I tie my left before my right.
Mm.
That's the only thing that I like really, really need to do before a game.
Take notes on that. That's. I love this question a viewer sent. If you could show a fan one clip that perfectly sums up Jenna Buglioni hockey, what clip or what goal would it be?
Yeah, I think probably it's kind of hard to pick just one. Like there's a lot of different like
But
memories that
yeah,
flow in when I play.
quintessential style. Yeah, it might not be a goal. It might be something that people really didn't notice at the time, but you're like, I I made that happen.
Yeah, I think one thing for me is maybe a clip that's on the PK.
Hmm.
I think that that would show a lot of my like grit and tenacious style of play.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that I'm pretty effective on the PK. I was lucky enough to earn the opportunity to be on our penalty kill while at Ohio State. And I think it was something that I added to my toolbox that separated me a little bit. So I think probably a play from in there, just you're a man down and you just have to grind it out. And I think my style of play is very tenacious, gritty, kind of get in the dirty areas and just go to work. And then when you get the puck, try to make a play happen, try to be smart with it. That's what sticks out in my brain, I would think.
Yeah, that's a I mean that's a great answer because that's like a team oriented answer, and so many players are that way. Like there might be a goal, of course, if you scored like a gold medal overtime winning goal, that would be up there. But I think blocking a shot or like, when the game's on the line and you do something that, and your teammates know it too, right? From the bench, they cheer those kinds of plays because they know that you're putting your body on the line or you're digging deep when you're at the end of your shift, things like that. So those are great qualities to have. And I know you're a good penalty killer. You're great on face-offs. I mean, you're not the tallest, but is there anything that you say when people bring up your size, as a drawback or anything? I'm sure you've had to answer that in the past. So
Mhm.
in as few words as you want, what do you say when people ask you that question?
It's kind of mostly just watch me. I feel like I've been told that my whole life, yet I've still been able to have quite a bit of success. And I've also been on a lot of great teams, and that helps with success, obviously. But I think being an underdog and being not taken for granted, but maybe underestimated sometimes just lights the fuel even more. You see a lot of players that may be considered undersized, having a lot of success. Kendall Coyne Schofield, Emma Malte is not the biggest player. Just people like that that have really had a lot of success, not only in the league, but internationally. Um, you can do whatever you set your mind to. There's a lot of other factors of their game that
Yeah.
are successful for them. So for me, yeah, my size might not be the biggest, but I play like I'm 6 feet. I never shy away from the battles, and I have a lot of other things that I know that I'm good at that might differ from someone who is close to 6 feet
Hmm.
or etc. So I think owning those skills is important for me. But yeah, I feel like I've dealt with that my whole life of the size, and I know that the league is very physical, and that's going to be an adjustment, and just understanding how to take a hit and give a hit is a big adjustment. But I definitely won't be shying away from that, and I think that I can incorporate that into my game as well. Like I'm shorter, but I have a lower center of gravity than some players, so that might be helpful. So it's just kind of knowing what my strengths are, that I try to focus on. The outside noise is always going to be there, but how you are able to block that out or
Yeah.
take it how it may be,
Yeah.
it
By
is
the
what it is.
by the time you get to this level, like it's not like it's news to you, like, oh, I am a little like you've learned, you've succeeded already. I mean, you went in the first round for a reason. I mean, it's sort of like there shouldn't be any questions. And wasn't there that clip of Emma Malte when she was mic'd up and going to the penalty box and saying like, I'm 5'2", or,
My
like,
height is not something I can control either. It's not a controllable. If it was a knock on some other skill or my fitness or something like that, those are things that I can control and
yeah,
I can try to fix. But I unfortunately can't add 4 inches to my height.
yeah.
So this is what I've been dealt. It's how I am and use it to the best of my ability.
You don't have to. I mean, here at Game Day Hockey, we support all sizes, shapes, and styles of play. I mean, I just cheer for, especially if I've had folks on the show. It's just so much fun to see everyone succeed. Like, I just can't wait to see you in your first game and
Thank you.
taking all that in. Do you have time for a couple more? I know
Yeah,
we're getting a little long, but we had so many good questions, and
that's awesome. I love that.
yeah, I
I
mean,
love the fan questions.
pro dreams. Okay, now that you're in the PWHL, who's one defender or goalie you're most curious to test yourself against?
Mm, wow. That's a good question.
And it could be
Maybe,
someone that you like, you've played with,
hmm,
or
I
a
think
legend.
I think honestly, from a going against a defender perspective, Renata Fast, because no matter how fast you are skating forwards, she can skate just as fast backwards as well with you. So
Good
playing against
answer.
her, she is a very skilled player, and very, very athletic, very speedy. So going against up against her, I think is going to be a big challenge, but also very exciting. And then maybe Erin Frankel. I think
Mm,
she's a little bit unorthodox in her style, but I'm excited to see she's also one that is said to be undersized, but she has
mm.
had a tremendous amount of success. So I want to see how we stack up against her.
I'm gonna watch for that on the schedule then, because yeah, I mean, when Frankel is on her game, like you see people just they're just trying everything. They're like
Mhm.
low, high, screen, jam it in, like it, and nothing works. So, so curious to see what you might do if you get like a one-on-one, and your mind might get in the way, right? You're like, oh God, this is the one that I said I wanted, and now I have to do something. Okay. Next question was, what's your favorite rink you've ever played in, college or otherwise?
People might make fun of this answer, but I will ride on the hill of playing an OSU ice rink. It is like not the nicest rink, obviously, if you've ever seen pictures and video of it, it's old, but the environment that like been able to create there is something that I really, really valued at my time there. We filled it, the band would come, it'd be super loud. Other people hate playing there.
Yeah.
So I think that's one that really sticks out in my mind. And then playing in LeBon. It is against Wisconsin. It's usually a 1 versus 2 battle. It's always a great game. And their fans are rowdy, they're loud, they're nasty, they're not the nicest sometimes. Like if you're in the penalty box and they're right behind you, they're heckling you, but it's all in good fun. It's a good experience. They always pull in a good crowd when we're there. So probably those two are my top favorites.
I love that you're still saying we, and like you're like it's going to
Yeah,
take a couple of games in a climate pledge for you to say that's your favorite, and to kind of have
Mhm.
this part be like in your memory banks, right?
Yeah, I know. I always joke. I'm like, everyone's asking, "Oh, how will Ohio State be this year?" And I'm like, I think we'll still be. And then I'm like, no, they will be really good. My alumni hat is now on. They will be amazing, and I'm so excited to cheer for them. But it's like weird spending 5 years there, and now that chapter is done.
Are there any other players that you've either played with or against that like and sorry because I don't know which teams everybody is on that you might have played against, like the Colgate,
Yeah.
Calton Cova, people like that. Are there any of those kind of matchups or friendships that you've taken note of?
Yeah, I played for quite a few years with Jen Gardner
Right.
on PWHL Vancouver. We played 3 years in high school together and then 4 years at Ohio State. I live about 30 seconds down the road from her back at home. We're really, really good friends. So that rivalry is going to be exciting. I am excited. Also, at some point, not looking forward to playing against her, but um, and then yeah, just those names that you've played against in college, the Casey O'Briens,
Mm,
Colton Kovas, Kendall Cooper, Ann Chakowski, all those girls that I've played against, whether it's collegiately or internationally. And then also I played with Cooper and Chakowski
right.
on development team for Team Canada. So there's a lot of intertwined time.
Yeah.
So just seeing how kind of we all stack up and what our roles will be on our new teams is going to be really exciting.
I think that's everything. There was just one. Oh, I know. Okay. So this is a host bonus question because I'm just always curious. Nobody submitted this. I'll tell the truth. I'm always curious who players room with or like how they, because I've moved a lot and like it's not easy and you got to get the right place. And maybe you're not as familiar with Seattle. Have you worked all that out yet? Do you know who you're going to live with and where?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna live with Hannah Murphy, the goalie that we
Okay.
drafted. I played with her for 2 years with Hockey Canada at the development team, and we got along really well there. I've played against her for a couple years whenever we matched up against Colgate. So I'm definitely excited to have her on the same team this upcoming year. And I'm excited for us. We found a little cute townhouse not too far from the practice rink, so
Nice.
we're gonna be able to grow our friendship and have our own little space. Like right after she got drafted and I heard her name, I'm like, yes, that's gonna be my roommate. So
Nice.
I kind of knew from then that that's who I wanted to room with, and we kind of just slowly worked out all the details leading up to whenever we ended up signing that contract a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's so cool. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
I mean those are not small things. Having a good roommate I think is super important that you're kind of on the same wavelength or sleep at the same hours or things like that. So I hope all that works out. Good luck to
Yeah.
Hannah. That's going to be I mean, I looked at the roster again of Seattle just to like remember who's on there and like I just can't wait to see the team on the ice. Are you feeling that way too? This is the very last question. Are you just as excited like, oh, you've got Alex Carpenter. Oh, you've got Kareen Schroeder. Oh, by the way, drafted like all these great rookies and it's a pretty stacked roster. Like, is that how you're feeling about it?
Yeah, just a lot of people with great hockey resumes. I know some of the girls a little bit just from camps I've been at and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to see how we all gel and how that chemistry is built. But yeah, when you look at the roster on paper, it seems like it's going to be something amazing. So I am wondering how I'm going to fit into that puzzle piece and just provide anything I can and whatever the team needs, I'll be ready. But yeah, it'll be awesome to see how it kind of all comes together and just so many girls with so much experience and so much I can learn from to help and build our team and hopefully bring home a Walter Cup this year.
But like the cool thing is, you're not just a class of rookies joining an established team. Like everyone's, mostly brand new to this situation and the practice rink and the jerseys and sort of like, oh, you're on my team now. Like there's going to be a lot of introducing and getting to know
Mhm.
each other. So that's going to be super cool. Good luck to you and hope that all goes well
Thank
and
you.
you bust out at camp and
Yeah.
put on first line center, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can dethrone Carpy from maybe where that'll be, but I will hopefully learn a lot from her. And I think the great thing about us all being new to the area is we're all exploring it together and we can put whatever identity and stamp we want to make it on our team. So we have a really great staff, and I'm excited for the vision that they see for our team and for us to be able to come in and make it how we see fit and how it's going to be with the leadership of the girls that are on the team that have been in the league and kind of been around the block. I think we're in great hands from that perspective. So being able to create this environment how we want it to look is I think something super special that not everybody gets the opportunity to do.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's you always be able to say that you were the first ever draft pick. Like no one will ever take that away from you, or like that it's not like something that you're going to carry around a lot, but like you just stick that in the back of your mind and just know like the team thought so highly of you, and that's a badge that you get to keep, Jenna. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a real honor for sure.
Yeah. Well, my cat is trying to join the podcast here, just out of frame. Luckily, I've been able to keep him to the side. But thank you for the time today, and I just wish you all the best when you make that move and hit the ice, and stay healthy, and just enjoy the whole experience. But we really appreciate you answering these questions for our community, and we'll see what they might drop in the comments for you. And yeah, maybe we'll get some Jenna Buglioni branded pickle juice shots or something to.
I would love that. I might have to work on that.
Well, enjoy, and thank you again for the time. We will see you when the season starts up and in training camp and on the ice.
Thank you so much for having me.